Hello, everyone, and welcome back to War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is Friedrich with October 23rd, 1943 turn. So I did this before, just full disclosure, but it didn't record my voice. So let's see how this one does. And we put a couple of torpedoes in the England Maru, and it looked like it started the battle with maybe some systems damage with that smoke coming up, but then we don't. But then we just finish it off with. I mean, it probably had like maybe 10, 8 or 10 or 12 systems damage, which is nothing. But yeah, we sink it, no problem. All right, moving on. And now it's daytime or sun up. Yeah, this that was frustrating because yeah, that would have been a nice ship to take down. All right, it looks like our PBY-5 flying over Ulithi may have gotten a bomb into it. Okay, we're trying to hit Chiang Mai with lots of air power today, and then we're actually triggering an attack here as well by ground troops. This sweep over Surabaya, I should have canceled because we're not bombing it anyway. I decided to let my heavies do a little resting. Ooh, that's a pretty devastating bombing. Trying to get this, see this little unit here is an anti-aircraft gun. Trying to get it up here to this area roughly. It's going to take a while to go down this road and maybe beat up some of his air units as they fly over to bomb. Here we go. Look at all this. Very well coordinated strike, but the overcast weather plus, I don't know, terrain maybe, we just don't do that much damage. Well, also he has high-level fortifications here. That'll possibly make a difference. Well, that's not ideal. Hmm. More damage. Now he just completely misses. First duds, then missing. Man, can't catch a break. Alright, let's get to the good stuff here. Chiang Mai. Okay. Okay, here's his deliberate attack here. I mean, any minute now, that's gonna just fold. Um, but with all the casualties we took, pardon me, I guess we're hanging in there. Alright, here's our bombardment north of Mole Mine. One vehicle. But, wow, see, this is a devastating counter battery. I'll have to look at how that came to be. But here we go. Let's go. Alright, so we don't completely, like, not expecting a wipe. I'm just saying we don't completely uh, knock out all of his stuff. We don't even disable a lot as he pulls out. But we do take the base. We kick him out. And now we can pursue him. It says we got a unit pursuing, but it's not there. It doesn't make it all the way, which means that I'm probably not gonna. I'm gonna have to be careful because we're crossing a river to get in there, which means shock attack. So let's wrap up the turn and then we'll jump into October 24. All right, some cargo ships. I think these are just units moving from East USA. But anyway. All right, we're back on October 24, 1943. Now, for me, it's been a long time since I've seen the file. My opponent was he was out of town, and so couldn't get to it, and just got it, and I'm processing the turn maybe a week after a little more than a week actually. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever time passed, I am totally forgetting what we were going to do here. Okay, but the guardfish puts a torpedo into the, what is this? Uh, Oi Maru? I don't know how to pronounce that. Too many vowels. Oh yeah, that would have been cool. Alright, the guardfish finishes off the Oi Maru. Now four torpedoes. He, this became like an escort task force, I believe. Well, that's my guess, and we finished it off with three. I mean, I think that's a little overkill, but the captain elected to fire a total of 6 torpedoes. 4 of them hit and detonated. Just some sweeps here, and now we're sweeping him. It's been a long time. So we took Chiang Mai. I think we're bombing this because we're marching southwest here, and when I get here, I want to be able to beat these guys up. I think these guys are, instead of marching west to help finish off this, I think we're just chasing these guys southwest there. Man, I'll have to, we'll have to talk after the resolution here. Um, no need to get too ahead of ourselves here. He still sees this little anti-aircraft unit here. Why is it going? Oh, never mind. So he hasn't been bombing Chiang. Certainly sweeping it, but not bombing it. Alright, so we're hitting his tanks, possibly tanks. Could be trucks, but I'm gonna say we're hitting his tanks. Okay. This was my attempt at, finding some of his fighters potentially capping something. I'm remembering that now. I was just random locations, just feeling him out in case he has fighters somewhere over there. What was that all about? Okay. Hitting the air base for supply hits as much as anything else. Where is this? Aha! Perfect. We're gonna warp speed up here and intercept this. Nice, thank you. So that's what that was. I was wondering what all this action was all about. Okay, one ASWS hit down. Tiny tanker, maybe we can sink that. It's carrying oil. Nice. Okay, I'd say our subs were generally successful. Now, we didn't have a lot of sub action, but the sub action we did have was, I think, at 100% rate. Wow, a lot of guns lost. I'm not sure. It's pretty strong counter bombardment there. Okay, well, let's see what he's got over there in the way of carriers. Wonder what his objective was. Maybe it was to sink some shipping, but yeah, he's his neck is stuck out. All right, so here's I have Pearl Harbor selected. That's where our carriers are. I can warp speed, full speed. This is 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can full speed to I don't know how far east he's gonna go. Um this is going west. I'll figure it out in just a second. Here's the thing. Basically I'm thinking if this is nope, this is going home. Huh. Well, I'm gonna send it this way and then have my carriers teleport, let's say to here, somewhere in here, such that if he decides to start, it says heading east. If he heads back west, we should intercept him. If he keeps heading east, I'm okay with being here. If he keeps heading east and maybe even attack some of our shipping, I'm okay with that because it keeps me alerted to where he is. So if he keeps going east, we'll be here and basically we'll start cornering him. What I don't want to do is go, say, for example, here, just throwing this out there. Um, that's 17 anyway. This is 16. I don't want to go here and then he's like back here and then we can't do anything. So I'd rather maybe even go here and have these guys come this way. Maybe I'll just have them go straight to Pearl and we come here. Then if he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If he goes 8 west, we'll be in range. Now if he goes northwest, I wouldn't mind chasing him further. So we'll go here, and then we'll keep going up this way because we're close to Pearl. I could even send out. I think I have some oilers. Yeah, I've got some oilers, so I could bring the oilers out. And maybe toward Midway or maybe even up in here. And then if I have to refuel, just go full speed twice and or however many times till we catch up to him. That'll be interesting. All right. Let's get to the losses here. We lost 4 aircraft. He lost 6. Dina, Oscar, Nell, Jake, Judy, and Jill. 2 Vengeance 1s. We got a recon here. And another recon. That, pardon me, shut down by flak. All right, let's look at our, we lost a couple of pilots. Maybe I don't know, we'll figure it out. So 3 tankers, one, one is very near Pearl. Oh yeah, this is ours. That's worth 29. Um, yeah, that's about right. Uh, then he lost a pretty good one himself, and then this little one. Uh, and then we sank an ASW asset here. Okay, that done. Yeah, just to point out what I got here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 carrier groups. And I'm not going to bring this guy out. He's just a small escort carrier, it's slow. It's not worth sending anywhere. But we've got pretty much 2.5 carriers there, uh, half a carrier there, which we have the, let's see, let's turn this off. See, we got 3 carriers ready to go, let's say 3.5 carriers ready to go. So we're gonna be in good shape. Two Essex classes there, um, and then the Saratoga and the Wasp. So I think we definitely have air supremacy here, and a lot of aircraft. We'll throw him at this problem, and hopefully he's got to be thinking now. Um, I'm exposed. Maybe he expected to sink these, but now he's maybe thinking, okay, now I'm exposed. I better just head back. Or he's gonna press on. Maybe he's even thinking, well, it's 43, late 43. I don't have much to lose. Let me just roll the dice on a raid. So, but I don't. This is kind of a weird place to raid. The center of, um, I don't know. Uh, anyway, wow. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna jump into this here. So I'm trying to pull. I'm already trying to pull these tanks off here, and not making good progress because our LSTs are picking up these tanks and losing some. So that's unfortunate. Um, and yeah, trying to get some supplies here, but also we got to repair this damage. Um, Slowly but surely, and I've got engineers that can come fix it up. But here I'm not too stressed about it because I'm really not worried about whether I can use this base anytime in the very near future because really it's not even going to be an active base anyways. All right, and I have Watcha is my next target, and we'll be doing something there shortly. Um, okay, so we do know there's something here, although it's I think it's a weak, like not even regiment size, but in any case, we'll be set up to do something there shortly. Also, I've got some shipping, some troops prepping. Should and my carriers when they're done with this action here, which I'm really glad that my carriers were here. When they're done with this operation here, they'll probably head back just to clean off some barnacles and then go get over here and help with this. Now on the flip side, I may not have to stress about it so much. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not. With his carriers here, this is basically KB, and it could be KB plus, but KB, Keto Butai, we can pull this operation off now. I know exactly where Keto Butai is. We've got escort carriers here. I have some fleet. I do have some fleet, a fleet carrier coming. The Lexington with a couple of light carriers. We could pull this operation off basically now. Um, we got the 25th Infantry Division scheduled for Sadata. I could look at, do I have anything else that needs to go here? And even if I do, I could just still I mean, a whole division should be able to handle it. And then shore bombardment. I've got some. I've got my battleships here. Well, a battleship. I think the other two battleships are in repairs right now because they were torpedoed here in this theater. Um, but I also have some heavy cruisers here that are just basically like these guys here are just basically protecting Kendari from bombardment. But we could bombard this easily enough. All right, moving up. So Sadata will probably happen very soon. Now that I know where Keto Batai is. Thank you for telegraphing me your position. Um, I don't know what he's got going on here. I kind of want to bomb this, but of course he's going to have fighters capping it. But I would love to hit this port. Um, and I'm bombing this because to soften it up. But now that I think about it, I may let him run away. And I want to get this guy back here as quickly as possible. Um, because he's moving northwest. But we should make good time because this road, and we opened the road. We opened this up, and we should make good time because of this road. All right. Now he has half a road here, but he should be a bit slower than us. I should bomb. You know what? I'm gonna bomb this next, because I should bomb it so he doesn't get here before we do. And then these guys are moving southwest because I want to smash this as I keep pushing down to uh, Rahang. Um, man, there's a lot going on here, and I've got to just keep a level head and keep pressing on. Yeah. I mean, I've got air supremacy in at least in this specific area. Um, probably I'm gonna pull this off as well. Let's transfer. Um, all right, so I'm gonna bombard mole mine. Last time I bombarded, it did basically no effect. So we're gonna hit it again, um, and just see how it goes. All right. Because if I can keep it damaged, but also supplies, diminished and so forth, that'll help. It'll have to draw supplies from some of these areas that are harder to get supplies from. I really would like to supply, speaking of supplies, I would love to supply these guys here. But last time I encroached there, he had a couple of destroyers. So one of the things I might have to do is send this cruiser task force here to clear it out. But in order to be comfortable with that, I need to make sure he doesn't have Bettys and things that and carriers to beat me up here. And for that, what I want to do is bring the Lexington and the escort carriers after they take Sadata is to bring them around and get to Colombo, let's say, and then refuel and supply, and then come over here and try to beat them up a bit. But that's a long ways off, and I don't like that. That's how long how that's a long time to wait. Anyway. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I guess I'll just quickly show uh, China and see if there's anything to point out here. Not really, but the here's this guy here. I'm trying to. I'd love to 8854. Yeah, this is exactly where I want it. Because when he comes and bombs, I'd like to damage his aircraft with this. Um, 3.7 inch. The uh, other N aircraft is here, the light A. I'm not sure if I want to keep it here, but I kind of do. I guess I could pull it away and do this big circle back around to here, but it's fine where it is, honestly. And I'm surprised he's not just every day just deliberate attack here until he just knocks us out. But that's fine. We'll hang in there or not. But anyway, um, I mean, really, we're not getting any supplies to rebuild. Look at this. So this is about to perish anyway and come back in a different form. Um, hmm, I'll probably say no to replacements for that guy. Basically, where these guys are so this far depleted, and really they kind of all are over depleted. Um, so we got a couple of core here that I'm gonna allow them to replenish, but we'll let it pass. We'll let it be eliminated, and then they'll come back at Chungking, and we can fill in some gaps somewhere else, I guess. All right, well, I think that's that. So we got a potential crazy turn coming the today, the 25th. Particularly here in the Pacific. We'll call it Central Pacific for lack of a better term. And let me just show you what I'm thinking. And everybody's following 13, I think. So let's say here, um, remain on station. Uh, 185.90. Nope, that's still too far. Not that it matters. They'll just go as far as they can. Uh, so this is 16. I like this. I have to say full speed, and I have to do this for everybody, right? We have to go to all of the task forces that are involved in this operation. We have to tell them all full speed, and we'll go here. And again, if he backtracks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't see him doing full speed. But if he backtracks, let's say directly west, we'll have an epic carrier versus carrier battle. If he goes northwest, I will probably keep pushing my ships at full speed one more turn to see if we can catch up to him. Now, if he moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If he moves here, this will be very hard for us to catch up because then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we could go here and still have an air carrier battle. That would be interesting. So basically, we're going to come up here, and if he disappears, I'm going to take the chance that he went northwest. I'm going to take, yeah, man, you know what I want to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to split this up. I'm going to send a ship northwest until it go like 6. Tell it to go 6 and then return. I'm going to send a ship west uh, and then tell it to go home, and maybe northeast, tell it to go home, and then the rest will go to Pearl, something like that. Because what I want to do is I want to see, because if I send him northwest or northeast, we should spot where he ends up putting his carriers and hitting us. And then therefore I'll know, all right, we got him. Well, we might be able to triangulate him and get him. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, and then in the meantime, I'm going to create a replenishment group, which I do not have here. And then let's do that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up here. All right, oiler. Look at all these oilers. So let's take the fastest ones first, and we'll throw in some destroyer escorts. Ooh, I don't want to grab those. Patrol. Problem is they're short range. So mine. Sure, grab a DM. Okay. Dock. Load fuel. Do not unload. And we'll say remain on station. And we'll go. We'll just go like right here. It'll take a while to get there anyway. And then that'll start going. And I should have had these guys already formed up. That's on me. For future. I mean, even if I didn't have anything up my sleeve, it'd be nice to already have something kind of cooking. Load fuel. Let's say transfer. We'll get the other DM and mission speed. Remain on the station. Do not unload. And we'll send these guys also up north. And at some point, our carrier can limp back and refuel with effect. I don't know why I can just keep these full refuel. That's fine. Because they're probably going to come back to Pearl when they're ready. All right, so we got some crazy stuff going on. I'll have to make sure everybody's set to full speed that are following this task force, and and we'll get up here and have some fun. And don't forget, we're gonna get these carrier groups, like um, all the ships that we want in the carrier groups will be made sure that they're allocated. We don't want to leave any of these short-handed, short-staffed, and uh, pull the trigger and see where it takes us. All right, thanks everyone. I guess we'll see you next time and see how this goes. Take care. Bye.